is Crystal with Pineapple Papers, and I am back with another How to Kill a Kit with Style. Well, this particular pack, there's really not much left, so I don't know that I will get all the stickers taken care of, but and definitely not the alpha. But my plan is I have one 12 by 12 piece of paper. I have 5 4x6 cards, 2 4x4 cards, 3 of these little cards, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of these cards, and I have these pieces of paper left in addition with these 2x2 squares. So my plan is to put all of this paper on a layout. I'm super excited. I love lots of paper, so it's a little bit of a challenge still, but I think I can do it. So let's get started.
Okay, so I am going to be scrapbooking this picture of my son, and it's just a Snapchat thing, and it's super fun. I don't know if other moms find this. I would assume so. You pick up your phone, you start scrolling through your pictures, and by golly, your kids have totally photobombed your gallery. I love it because half the time I don't get pictures of my son, so the fact that he decided to photobomb my phone was super cool. So this background paper is a little busy, and I have plans to put a ton of paper on it, which is going to make it even more busy. So I just have some cheap Walmart gesso and a palette knife, and I am just making a big square, not all the way to the edge, all the way around. But instead of putting a white piece of paper, I did want some of that color pattern to show through. And I like the stripes that that gives. So then I'm going to take all of these 2x2 squares and I am going to lay them out. And I don't make you watch all of it, but my plan is to basically just not get colors next to each other or patterns next to each other. And I do use my T-square ruler, so they're slightly, at least in a line, give or take a little bit. And I do end up doing 5 rows of 5. So then I took it to my sewing machine, which had some black thread in it. That's why there's black thread. And this layout is kind of a scrap lift of a previous layout I did a while back. It was also of my son, but he was like 2. And I ran the stitching down the center of all of the squares. So then it cut the squares into 4. This time I decided I was going to do the outline of each square, which I like how it turns out. My follow through maybe is not the greatest. I am not a seamstress. My grandma was a seamstress. She was wonderful. I really can't sew a straight line. And I think at one point in one of the circles, I forgot to stop sewing when I turned the paper, so it was all wonky. But I like it, and that is my personality, and that is how my page turns out. So that's what I did to the background. Now, as far as the paper layers that I am going to put behind my photo, I'm going to use all of those cards, each and every size. One of the cards had like a little cutout that kind of looked like a tab, so I actually cut it so it looked like a tab. Now, some of the cards have sayings, and if there's a saying on one that I think I might use, I would have kept it. And I did contemplate one of them because it said, "This is seriously awkward," which I thought would be perfect for a teenager, but it ended up being a great layer. One of the project life, or one of the The 4x4 squares cut aparts had that "You Are One Cool Kid" on it, and I cut that out and added that as my title. And now I'm going through the sticker sheet, and my plan is to embellish all of these little squares and take some of the other pieces that still kind of work, but you don't necessarily need to see exactly what it says or truly what it is. Like there's a football right there, and you can kind of tell it's a football, but it just adds like another awesome layer to the back of the photo. And what I did was I slipped them in between the layers, so it's not just behind the photo, it's not just behind the very back. I tried to slip it in between layers, and I really like how that looked out. So I did manage to get most of the stickers from this sticker sheet off and on this page. Even these triangles, which I put as a banner underneath the picture. I did contemplate using some twine or something to kind of put it together, but I didn't. I just added them as they were. I had one extra piece and just popped that on the top. And you can see I have really used almost every piece of paper I have left. I had these few little ones left and decided just to pop those in as layers. Otherwise, they were going in the garbage. They were not going to make it. A few of these little epoxy brads, and I'll use a few of these tiny word stickers, and that is going to complete the layout. So I hope you really are diving into your stash, and if you run out of 12 by 12 papers, but you have all these cut aparts, I hope that this inspires you to cut them apart and use them up. Do some awesome layering and use that stash. So we will see you in the next video, and remember to wear your crown. Bye!